been looking for a way to help your own club, this presentation will help you get on the right path and move forward and being a force for success in and beyond Toastmasters. Please welcome distinguished Toastmaster Rob Christensen.
It seems counterintuitive to us, but right now we're having a membership crisis in Toastmasters at a time when people need communication, leadership, and networking skills more than ever. Now there's a statement I wish I could take back. I wish right now this wasn't an issue for us here in our division, our district, Toastmasters worldwide. But it is nonetheless, and chances are you already knew that before I started speaking. Fellow Toastmasters, I want to talk about a few things. First, I want to talk about what you can do to help your own club. And at the end, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about the official club coaching program within Toastmasters. As all of you know, strong clubs make members more successful. Strong members help make a club strong. Sounds almost like a chicken and egg scenario, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. But it's not. It's about working together. Many of you have served in leadership positions. Some are currently in leadership positions in our district. Others are future leaders. You may find yourself in a situation where you're asked to coach a club, or many of you find yourself actually mentoring other club coaches. And you may find yourself in that situation again. In fact, we have for sure one active club coach in the club here. Daryl is coaching a club even as we speak. So I'm going to talk about some of the ways, and you're going to learn tonight, some of the ways to help coach your own club and how to transition that to coaching clubs besides yourself, your own as well. The first topic I want to talk about is one called the verbal business card. So I'm going to start by asking, I'm going to pick on some people. Who should I start with? I should start with Deanna. Deanna, when someone asks you, what is Toastmasters? What do you say?
I tell them that it is a club that helps you strengthen and practice communication skills.
Good. Roger?
Over.
What do you say when someone asks you, what is Toastmasters?
Speaking, listening, leading.
Very concise. I like that. Very rarely does anybody run up to us on the street and say, hey you, what is Toastmasters? Normally we find ourselves in a situation where we brought up the fact that we're going to a meeting or that we've done something in Toastmasters, or maybe they've seen a trophy on our desk from a weekly win at our local club. And they may ask, what's that about, or what is Toastmasters? What I'm going to invite you to do is make a slight change in your repertoire and do what's called give a verbal business card. And what that is a phrase of 10 words or less. You can use the same system to talk about yourself, your own job title, your own personal business. But for Toastmasters, I'm going to suggest the following. We help individuals improve their communication, leadership, and networking skills. 10 words, very simple. Why so short? Put the conversation on them. Once you've given that quick overview of what we're doing, they either care or they don't. So rather than talk for 3 minutes to find out that they don't, you can find out right away, and then you can find out why they care, and you can tailor your next statement. Because they may say, really, networking skills, how do you help with networking skills? And then you can talk about the club environment. You can talk about speaking in front of an audience and gaining that skill. You can talk about advanced manuals such as interpersonal communications that teaches networking skills directly. If you haven't tried that manual, I've looked at it, it's a little scary actually, don't tell the guests that. But the very first project in that manual is meet someone at a party. So if you didn't know there were networking skills that were officially taught at Toastmasters, now you do. I ask you to keep that in mind. How do I talk about Toastmasters? How do I represent our organization? And when you think about that, think about how you can get people interested quickly, and then you can move on to explain the specifics. Let them drive that train for you, and you can give them the answers to their questions. We help individuals improve their communication, leadership, and networking skills. I'm going to tell you something about that real quick that happened this weekend. I had the wonderful fortune of going to mid-year training, as some of you have probably been involved in before. As a district trio member, Lieutenant Governor Marketing, we do training at the beginning of the Toastmaster year in June, which is now going to move back a bit, and in the middle of the year in January. And at that training, we have 2 international directors and people from Toastmasters International, including, in this case, the international director, excuse me, the executive director of Toastmasters. His name is Dan Recht, and he is basically the head paid person in Toastmasters. And there are some people that do get paid at World Headquarters. He's the one that pretty much runs that operation. There was a question about networking because there's been a bigger move towards talking about networking as an advantage of Toastmasters. And his initial answer was that we don't sell networking as the #1 factor of Toastmasters. It's communication and leadership. But when he said, when he was asked how would you present that, his answer was almost the same as what I just read to you, that verbal business card. He said, we help individuals with communication, leadership, and networking skills. Almost the exact way that I had it written. So that, if you're wondering about whether or not networking is supported, again, from Toastmasters, as a member of a trio from another district asked, that's the official answer, that it is. Along the same lines as that verbal business card and getting the word out to the individuals that you meet on a day-to-day basis, there's also bigger publicity. When I started as an area governor, 3 years ago now? 2.5 years ago, I guess? I went to my first club visit, and it was at Cargill, the Excellent Toastmasters. It was in June. I went before the year started. I visited all the clubs before my year started. I'd called up Deborah Schaffner, who was the president at the time, and arranged the visit. And I wrote down Deborah S., which was going to work, obviously, for me, right? You can tell. I get there to go to the receptionist, and I think, how do I ask for Deborah S. in a 9-story building? It's kind of a phone game. I turned and looked at the HR office, which was all glass, and the first desk right there had one of those nice little gray things that said Deborah, somebody else's name with an S, I don't remember what it said now. I thought, ooh, wouldn't that be cool if that's her? So I went in, and she was at her desk, and I said, Deborah? And she turned, I said, I'm Rob Christensen. Did we talk about Toastmasters? She said, what's Toastmasters? So I thought, of course, obviously not only is the answer no, but she works in the company with a corporate club. How does she not know what Toastmasters is? And I don't mean to pick on Cargill by any means, because I'll bet all of our companies have people who don't know what Toastmasters is. There's no way we can get the word to every person to the point that they're able to talk about it off the top. But it highlighted something for me that we may not be getting the word out even in our own companies, where we work, where some of us even have company clubs. Not everyone does. But if you do, I'd like to ask, does your company newsletter print something about Toastmasters at least once a month? Anyone? Hawker Beechcraft? Spirit? I don't know about Boeing off the top of my head because I don't see their newsletters, and Jonathan's not here. We can ask him another time. But it's not too often that we see that happen. And we're not taking advantage of that free communication within our own companies. For those of us that have clubs off of our companies, we should definitely be doing that. But even those that don't, if you're too small for a Toastmasters club as a company, promote West Wichita, promote Hayward, promote Via Christi, promote Semi-Pro. Promote a club that you're able to talk about, that you're a member of, in your own company. You may not be able to do it in the company newsletter. Maybe you can just do it on a bulletin board. But get the word out in your own company about the clubs that are here in town. Help bring that membership in, help make our club stronger.